everyone. I'm Dr. Morgana Colombo, board certified dermatologist and owner of Integrated Dermatology of Reston. I'm here to welcome you to our Vida Derma relaunch webinar. The title is Ageless Beauty Beyond 40, and we're going to be featuring our newly redeveloped and relaunched skincare line, Vida Derma. Please watch the whole thing, stay till the end, because at the end we're gonna have a live Q&A where I'm gonna answer questions that you may have. And also whoever attends till the end will get a 15% discount code on all the products we talk about in this webinar. Enjoy! As women go through their 40s, 50s and up, they go through a lot of hormonal changes. Starts with what we call perimenopause, which is a period of about 4 to 8 years, typically in your 40s, where your ovaries start producing very irregular levels of estrogen and progesterone. Up and down, hormones all over the place. And with that, we start noticing certain symptoms. So you will notice brain fog, fatigue, trouble sleeping, weight gain, muscle loss, sometimes bone loss, and the very famous hot flashes, which are just so uncomfortable and are called vasomotor symptoms. As you progress from perimenopause into full-blown menopause, which is characterized by 12 months without a period, your ovaries, instead of producing irregular levels of estrogen and progesterone, they basically stop producing those hormones. So then you end up in a state of continuously low to no levels of estrogen and progesterone. A lot of the symptoms you had in perimenopause continue. And then eventually, several years post-menopause, the hot flashes or the vasomotor symptoms tend to sort of fade and go away. So as I mentioned before, as you go through perimenopause and menopause, there are a lot of hormonal changes that happen. So what do those changes do to your skin? So in perimenopause, like I said, the hormones are all over the place. So as you can imagine, your skin is sort of like all over the place too. It's dry, it's oily, sometimes you get pimples, and because the collagen starts to decline and become noticeable, you also see more wrinkles, more sagginess, more dullness. But the big change really happens once you hit menopause. In the first 5 years after menopause, you lose 30% collagen. So to give you an idea what's happening, you start losing collagen in your 20s, like about age 25, you lose 1% per year. And, by the time you hit, perimenopause, you've lost some collagen, not that noticeable, but by the time you hit menopause, you've lost probably 20% of your collagen in 20 years, but then in 5 years, you lose 30%, so big change. So what you notice is your skin gets way more saggy, you notice more fine lines, more wrinkles. The other thing that happens is your sebum production goes down significantly postmenopausal, and your skin gets drier, more sensitive, your barrier gets more dysfunctional, your skin just gets duller, more discoloration. So lots and lots of changes happen as the hormones change. So guys, did you notice that the products that you used to use when you're in your 20s, those over-the-counter, maybe CVS or Target brands, just don't seem to do anything to your skin as you go through your 40s, 50s and up? So there's a reason to that. Those products really don't have the actives you need in order to nourish your perimenopausal, postmenopausal skin. As you know, I talked about all the hormonal changes that you go through in your 40s, 50s, and up lead to a lot of changes on your skin. So your skin gets drier, more sensitive, you lose collagen and elastin, which leads to more wrinkles, less tightness. Your skin also gets more discoloration, becomes more dull. So all those changes need to be addressed with the appropriate active ingredients. So there are, of course, brands out there that have those active ingredients, and there are a ton of brands. But one of the other problems you may run into is a lot of brands with a lot of actives, they tend to have very irritating products, and your sensitive perimenopausal, postmenopausal skin just can't handle that. So, because of all these uncertainties, and, I'm 46, I'm going through this myself, and I'm a dermatologist. So I decided that I wanted to help people go through this perimenopause and postmenopausal changes that their skin goes through with, the backing of some science. So science is there to help you. Knowledge is power. And with all that in mind, I reformulated all my products in my Vida Derma skincare line with the goal of really targeting the changes that happen in your skin as you go through perimenopause and postmenopausal stages of life. So my goal is to empower women to feel confident in their skin as they go through those changes. A very important part of a skincare regimen is a good cleanser. But you think, oh my gosh, so easy to find a good cleanser, but it's not. A lot of cleansers in the market either don't clean the skin and they strip all your oils and make your skin super irritated and super dry. And as you go through perimenopause and postmenopause, your skin's already dry to start with, so you cannot afford to have a cleanser that is gonna strip your skin like that. So our cleanser called The Cleanser is great. It's one of my favorite products in the whole line. It's very gentle. It has this Chinese herb called Evodia, which promotes a calming, anti-redness, anti-irritation effect on the skin. It's made in a foam vehicle that actually cleanses the skin really well. It will even remove makeup, but again, it doesn't strip the skin. So it's a cleanser that cleans really well and it doesn't strip the skin. It actually decreases irritation and it has an anti-redness effect. So it's a great cleanser for all skin types, including people with very sensitive rosacea prone skin. When it comes to skincare, the most important product in your whole regimen is your sunscreen. You need to use sunscreen religiously every day in order to decrease collagen degradation by sun and free radicals out there. So as you're aging, your collagen is breaking down. You do not want to break down more collagen with sun exposure. So sunscreen is critical. As a dermatologist, I tend to favor mineral-based sunscreens. I just find that they're safer and more effective. They block everything. Our sunscreen is really special because of the formulation. It has 15% zinc oxide and iron oxide. The iron oxide really boosts the zinc, and it also has some antioxidants in it, vitamin C, ferulic, and vitamin E, which further boost the sunscreen effect. I favor sunscreens that don't have titanium because titanium has been linked to a hair loss condition called frontal fibrosing alopecia that causes hair loss in the frontal hairline. So if you're prone to autoimmune conditions or you already have FFP, definitely, avoid titanium. But just in general, you don't know what's going to happen. So it may be a good idea for all of us to avoid titanium. So our sunscreen has only zinc and iron oxide boosted with antioxidants. I also wanted to mention the fact that the iron oxide is really important ingredient, especially for people with melasma. It offers them protection against, more discoloration from sun exposure. But what makes our sunscreen really, really special? So what makes it ultra special is the vehicle. It's very light, but again, really protective, has an SPF of 40, and it feels like makeup. It has like a silky makeup feel. It won't leave your skin like looking greasy or oily. It has a tint that universally matches to all skin colors. So other than people very, very, very fair or very, very, very dark, most people in between can safely use our tinted sunscreen. For people that don't like a tint, we have a non-tinted one also, which men tend to favor. And what's great about our non-tinted sunscreen is because it doesn't have the titanium, it does not leave a white cast. It absorbs like really nicely, looking almost invisible when you have it on. So great sunscreens, work like makeup, protect your skin, have the proper ingredients, including some antioxidants to boost the efficacy of the sunscreens. So as I mentioned, as we go through perimenopause and menopause, the skin gets more sensitive, drier, you lose collagen and elastin, and with that, the skin gets more loose, you develop more wrinkles, and you also get more discoloration and just lose your glow. The skin gets dull. So we have this amazing product that we call the Age Eraser that pretty much almost addresses a lot of those issues in just one product. It's our all-in-one amazing moisturizer. So this product has ceramides to address the dryness, the sensitivity, and the impaired barrier that happens as we go through perimenopause and postmenopause. It also has a plant growth factor called kinetin and a bunch of peptides to promote collagen, help with wrinkles, tightness, and lastly, it has a bunch of antioxidants. It has vitamin C, ferulic, vitamin E, all together. And the antioxidants just make your skin more even, more glowy, less dull. And all the critical ingredients you need, except for retinol, all in one product. So you have your ceramides for hydration, growth factor and peptides for collagen boosting, and your antioxidant for, even skin and glow and less dullness. So great product. It can be used once or twice a day. One thing I'll mention about this product is that the vitamin C in it is a esterified vitamin C. It's not in very high amount, it's a 5% amount of vitamin C. And why that's important? Because a lot of people, especially women, as they go through perimenopause and postmenopause, they develop sensitivity to vitamin C, where if they put it on, it really burns their skin, so they just can't wear it. The vitamin C in this product, because it's not acidic, it's in a smaller concentration, gives you results without irritation. So great product if you're looking to really improve your skin without any side effects such as irritation. So the last product that we're gonna talk about today, it's the last one, but it's a really, really important one. Like, oh my gosh, they're all important. Is our serum. We call it the plumper. It's a hyaluronic acid peptide serum. Two really critical ingredients to your perimenopausal, postmenopausal skin. So as I mentioned, perimenopausal, postmenopausal skin gets drier with a impaired barrier. Hyaluronic acid binds water, hydrates, plumps, really great for dry skin, and works really well paired with a moisturizer in general, or just alone if you have oily skin. And then it has the peptides. Peptides are, there are a bunch of peptides. The ones in this serum aim at stimulating collagen, elastin, and producing, improvement in tightness and wrinkle reduction. They also make the skin just a little bit like glowier. And then not only does this product has the peptides and the hyaluronic acid, it also has some green tea, which has a calming, antioxidant, anti-irritating effect. Great ingredient to have on your skincare. So this serum can be used in the morning, paired with a moisturizer on top. If you're, normal skin or drier skin, or even alone in the morning if your skin's not dry or is actually oily. And it can also be combined with your nighttime moisturizer. So you can use it once or twice a day, and you will get really great results in your skin with this peptide hyaluronic green tea serum that we are offering you. And lastly, the feel of this product is really important. It has a silky feel. It leaves your skin looking glowy. It feels very light. It blends very quick. But above all, a lot of hyaluronic serums are very sticky. This one will not leave your skin sticky, which is important because you can pair it with makeup if you want. So I just talked about those 4 products that we're launching first. We have our cleanser, we have our sunscreen, the tint and non-tint sunscreen. We have our moisturizer, our boosted moisturizer, the age eraser, and our peptide hyaluronic serum, the plumper. How do you put them all together in a regimen? So a good starting point for you would be to, in the morning, wash your face with our gentle cleanser. Then after that, use our peptide hyaluronic serum. And then after that, you can do the age eraser moisturizer, or if you're not dry, you don't have to do that. And then your sunscreen. At night, wash your face with the cleanser. You could repeat the hyaluronic serum if you're feeling really dry, but if you're not dry, you don't have to. And then our age eraser moisturizer. This simple regimen will make your skin glowier, more hydrated, less irritated, and tighter. It will eventually improve your wrinkles also. So it's a great simple regimen to help your perimenopausal, postmenopausal skin. The other thing I wanted to mention here is I'm a dermatologist. I offer other things in my office, and I want to be honest with everybody. So skincare is really, really helpful in improving a lot of features in your skin. But alone is not going to give you those miracle results that you may be looking for. So if you want to take your skin to the next level, you may also consider coming to a dermatologist office and get some lasers or skin tightening devices, or biomodulators, other things to further improve your skin. But a good skincare regimen is really critical, especially in your aging perimenopausal, postmenopausal skin, in order to really maintain it healthy and radiant and give you that confidence that you need as you go through this aging process. It's been great talking to you guys about skin changes that happen as you go through perimenopause and postmenopause, and how our line Vida Derma can help you address some of those changes and help you go through this process in a happier, more confident manner. Thank you for attending. I really, really appreciate your support. And I wanted to also invite you guys to stay a little bit longer for our Q&A and just, chat with me for the next 15 to 20 minutes. Ask me questions and I'll do my best to answer. And then lastly, I wanted to mention that if you attended today, we are gonna email you a code that you can use in order to get 15% off in any of the products in our new Vida Derma line, so that you can try for yourself and hopefully be, a happy camper with them. Oh, hi everybody. I just wanted to, again, thank you all for attending today. I know it's really late. It's like almost 7 p.m. Hopefully you guys had dinner before you attended here. I'm still at work, so I'm going to have dinner after. I wanted to just answer some questions. If you have some, I see one here about hormone replacement. So hormone replacement is a very kind of like tricky question. So we think there may be a benefit to your skin with hormone replacement, specifically, using some estrogen progesterone combination. But there are no real studies on that, because for a long time it was an idea that was totally banned. There was a big study that came in the 90s saying the hormone replacement was bad, and then nobody really after that really studied it on the skin. So based on just personal observation of other dermatologists or doctors, there is a thought that there may be some benefit to that on the skin. Definitely, with topical estriol and estradiol, there's a little bit of like a benefit when it comes to like glow, hydration, collagen. The only thing to keep in mind is if you're prone to melasma, it 100% is going to worsen your melasma. So just be aware and be careful with that. You can try it if you have melasma, but you have to be like on a good treatment regimen for melasma. So basically the answer is topical estrogen and estradiol and estriol may be beneficial, but watch out for melasma. Also, be careful about amount you apply, because if you apply just a little bit on the skin, you're not going to have systemic penetration. But if you apply a lot, then you run into systemic issues, which is okay. But if you're just doing the estriol and you're getting systemic penetration, the problem is if you have a uterus and you're doing estrogen with unopposed progesterone, then you're increasing your chance of uterine cancer. When it comes to the HRT, the actual systemic estradiol or whatever type of estrogen you use in progesterone, it's good, but we just don't have clear data on that. But I will mention it's good up to a certain point. So if you're going to use HRT, we know it's safe up to age 60 or 10 years after menopause. After that, there's a lot of risks that come with HRT, including strokes, heart attacks. So just be aware. Here somebody asked me that so when she uses a gentle cleanser, she doesn't feel like her skin come clean. Um, so so some gentle cleansers really do not cleanse the skin. I will say with this cleanser, this foaming cleanser, it the foaming kind of formulation allows it to penetrate through like grease and dirt, and it does clean the skin. But because it has that evodia material mixed in it, it doesn't irritate, it doesn't strip the barrier. So I would try it because it's one that cleans and doesn't strip the skin. Um, with do these products work on skin that is long past menopause? So yes, because so what happens with skin, as you go through perimenopause, postmenopause, is you develop those issues that I discussed. You get drier, more sensitive, you lose collagen. And so the line is addressing all those issues. I mentioned that in the first few years after menopause, that's when your collagen really sinks. You lose like 30% in a few years. After that, what actually happens is the loss is like slow. So the big change really happens like in your late 40s, 50s. After that, your skin sort of stays like, it declines a little bit every year. So the products really do help. But I will say the more collagen you've lost, the more benefit you would get from doing actual procedures. In the office, we have, microneedling with radio frequency to stimulate collagen. We have the Elacore, we have the CO2 laser, the ultra clear, alt therapy. So if you want really great results when it comes to promoting collagen, I would definitely consider doing some treatments and then add the products to that. Um, so, do you recommend starting with the full regimen or just one product? So you can start whichever way you want. So the full regimen just gives you a more complete, system to address all your issues. But even one product is helpful. So you have to start somewhere. If you're somebody who doesn't really do anything, I would start with a good sunscreen, and then after that, a good moisturizer, and kind of go from there. We only talked about 4 products, but we have like 19 products in our line. So we have a lot of them. If you come to the office, we can talk about all of them. We're just like slowly kind of like releasing them on the website. However, if you're a patient and you want to just read about all the other products, because we have products that address discoloration, we have other moisturizers, we have a retinol serum, we have vitamin C, we have all sorts of other products. We have like brightening pads, and azelaic acid that doesn't burn. So if you want to kind of like look at all the products, go on our website, vidaderma.com. On the right side, there's like a heading that says patients, and they're going to ask for like a passcode, and the passcode for patients to get in the full site is Vida Derma with capital V, Vida Derma, and then patient with capital P. So Vida Derma patient, all together as one word, capital V, capital P. If you enter that, you can access everything. Um, and then here, do topical products really work to stimulate collagen and elastin in the skin and can supplements help? So collagen supplements can help. They kind of work almost like products because you eat the supplement a little bit, you get a little bit of like penetration in where you get improvement on the skin. But I think they do help. Where the supplements really shine is they're great for your muscles, great for your joints. So just overall, like they promote like better body and healthier body. And it's all related. So if your body is healthy, your skin is healthier. When it comes to topicals helping the skin, we do know that definitely a lot of them help, retinol being kind of like the most proven product. So if you should definitely get yourself on a retinol if you're not on it, either prescription if your skin can tolerate tretinoin, or just over-the-counter retinol. Ours is good because it's very tolerable by people that are sensitive. So retinol, peptides, there are different kinds of peptides out there. The way they work, they're little molecules that turn on certain genes that produce collagen or decrease degradation of collagen. So they can work. The problem that we still have with peptides right now, and I'll be honest, is a lot of the molecules are large.
So, we formulate in a way where you get some penetration, but the penetration is not perfect. So you're only getting a little bit of penetration, a little bit of collagen stimulation. So you're not going to get fast results. It's consistent use to event that eventually is going to lead to results. But peptides work, retinol works, and then the other agent that really promotes collagen is vitamin C. So that's something else for you to keep in mind. Um, but if you want bigger or big collagen stimulation procedures for sure, and we have a lot of them that we've discussed in the past. And then can growth products promote skin cancer? That's a good question. So a lot of the depends on which product you're talking about. And so the exosomes and those things, we don't think they create skin cancer. There's like no, the DNA free exosome products are fine. The growth factors that we use, such as like the Skin Medica TNS serum, does not have any growth factors in it that promote skin cancer or any kind of cancer. So, and then the other thing with those growth factors is the molecules are huge. So you're not really getting any systemic penetration in order to promote any internal cancer. So they're safe. The efficacy is, you know, okay, but again, limited by the size of the molecules. So skincare in the future, in my opinion, will involve still those peptides and growth factors, but in smaller molecules where we can really get good penetration and full like stimulation of genes that promote collagen, elastin, decrease degradation of collagen, that kind of stuff. So there's a lot more that is going to happen, but as we are now, I would focus on retinol, peptides, um, antioxidants such as vitamin C, some growth factors, those safe, plant-based ones, even the human one with the TNS, serum. And then, hydration is critical. You want a good barrier. So ceramides, hyaluronic acid for hydration and barrier repair, and sunscreen, which sunscreen, what it does, it protects your skin from UV related, DNA damage that leads to like degradation of collagen, elastin, and skin and aging. So sunscreen is really critical. You can do all sorts of things. If you're not consistent about sunscreen, nothing is going to really work, to be honest. And also that's the number one ingredient that you have to be on. And I favor the zinc based ones or mineral ones because one, they're safer. A lot of the chemical sunscreens have ingredients that we don't know for sure that they're not toxic. The FDA stance on them is that they're probably okay, but we're not sure. We know for sure that the zinc-based sunscreens are safe. And then there's always question with the zinc with regards to the small molecules, like the nano particles of zinc, are they gonna penetrate and give you systemic issues? So studies have been done on that, and with the small particles zinc, you don't get systemic penetration, so they're really safe. Um, does your product, so my product has a plant-based growth factor, not a human one. What about salicylic acid in some OTC cleansers and other products? So salicylic acid is an exfoliator. So it's good if you have acne prone skin to unplug your pores. And it's good if you're very oily to just kind of like degrease your skin. If you're very sensitive and you have drier skin or you have rosacea, it's an agent that may be too irritating. So I would not favor that. Um, and then am I gonna have more products? So that's what I'm working on. So I'm starting. I know I kind of like started initially with just like a basic line of the ingredients. They're established and work, and then the goal is to hopefully in the future develop like better peptides and better agents to kind of safely promote a little estrogen on the skin. So I am, that's actually my goal, to develop better, more kind of like cutting edge stuff. But we started with formulations that are proven and work, and are tolerable, don't irritate, and we think the price point is good. We're kind of like in the middle. One thing I'll mention, with the Age Eraser moisturizer, it's one product that has a bunch of ingredients. It's priced a little bit higher, but it really it's a bunch of products in one, so it's definitely worth. If you don't want to, waste it, you could even use it every other day and kind of like, alternate with just like a regular nice moisturizer. We have some other moisturizers in the line. They're very good. We have one that we call the Restorer. It's very like hydrating, very like good, like winter cream, heavy. It pairs well with the Age Razor as an alternation at night. We have another one called the Hydrator. It's very light but very hydrating. It's another nice one. So, if you go on the website and you enter that code Vida Derma patient with the capital V, capital P, you can kind of look at all the products. And then, in the office, if you come to the office, we can talk about everything and talk about procedures that you can do in combination with the products to really take your skin to like the next level. So as you get older, products help, they're needed, they nourish your skin. But if you really want to change things, I think, procedures and treatments really make the bigger difference. That's the key there. And what oral collagen do you recommend? So my favorite brand is one that has a lot of studies around it. Is called Algae Cow, Algaeaecal, Algae Cow Collagen Powder. It's really good. It's one scoop a day with your coffee or tea, or if you can stomach it with water, but with coffee or tea you can't even taste it, and it's good. It really I think helps the skin a little bit, but definitely your body, your muscles, your joints, and going back to the body, there are lots of studies showing that as you get older, if you actually lift weights and you build muscle, that muscle promotes less inflammation in your skin, and actually there's like a collagen promoting effect of that. So if you want tighter skin, actually build some muscle. It's interesting. Cardiovascular exercise, just like improves blood flow to your skin, which is also helpful. But muscle building strength exercise actually has a lot of like anti-aging, benefits on your skin. Um, so do we have anything that lifts what gravity has pulled down? So there is nothing at this point in the market that actually does that. Um, so if you want to lift what gravity has pulled down, at this point you're stuck with either going surgical if you're very, droopy, or doing procedures to stimulate, the skin to kind of like lift up. One of my favorite ones is all therapy. It uses heat deep and more superficial, and it kind of gives you like a lower facelift. Alacor, profound laser. When you laser your whole face by tightening the whole skin, you get a lift effect. With product, they will make your pores smaller, lines better, the skin a little bit more lifted, but there's no product that gives you like this lift that you get with a procedure. Not yet, but possibility that we're going to get to that in the future. I think there's a lot of like new things in the horizon. They're going to be exciting for that. But in the meantime, I would definitely, get your skin on good products with the current technology that we have. And I would, if you want to kind of go after all the ingredients, retinol, peptides, vitamin C, ferulic. You can add other antioxidants, and then ceramides, hyaluronic. Those are kind of like the key ingredients. You can do growth factors, human or plant. But those are kind of like the key ingredients that we have right now. Peptides, when I say peptides, there are a ton of peptides out there. So different brands, different peptides. A lot of the more medical, what we call medical grade skincare, like SkinCeuticals, SkinMedic, even this one, Vida Derma, they have very similar peptides. But again, they help, but they help slowly. Mostly because of the current size of the molecules. But as we improve our technology, we're going to get to a point where we're going to have smaller peptides that really penetrate into your fibroblasts in the dermis and really give you like that DNA stimulation and change that we need to kind of like, really age the skin backwards. But what we have now helps. But you have to consistently use it and be patient. Neck. So eyes and neck, same skin, like thinner skin, wrinkles more easily, and you have to take care of those areas, because once they go bad, you're not going to be able to not notice them. So I we have a product for the eye and neck. I didn't talk about it today, but it's our eye neck cream. It has like retinol, which a mild retinol, not to irritate, and then a lot of like the similar ingredients that the age eraser has. It has the plant growth factor, some peptides that um, create a little tightening effect on the eyes and neck, and it has also the ceramides. So that product is a really good one for eye and neck. Our eye neck cream. We also have another one that we call the refiner. Is a combination of this eye neck cream with another product that has this acid called TCA, a mild one, and it kind of gives you like this is just for the eyes. It gives you like this mild exfoliation of the eye area. So if you have like deep wrinkles, this combination of our original age neck product with this TCA works really well. So, but if you're really sensitive, don't use that, because acid and sensitive skin is just gonna create more problems. If you're sensitive, keep things a little bit gentler. Um, so let's see, and then compare fillers versus procedures. So everything kind of addresses something different. So as we age, our skin changes, we develop like fine lines, lines of motion, pigment changes. The skin can get drier, pores enlarge, you lose definition, and then you also lose volume, you lose bone, you lose muscle, everything kind of goes downhill. So different things do different things. So fillers address the volume change. And there are different kinds. You have your hyaluronic fillers, your radius sculpture, which are the biostimulator fillers. Those promote collagen. And typically a combination of those different kinds can really restore some volume, which is important to hold your skin. You don't want to over volumize, because then it just doesn't look natural. But a little volume is helpful. The creams help the skin itself, like we discussed, and it's important to be on good skincare. And then the treatments, they're kind of mostly going after the skin itself, also to boost or get you more results than the creams alone would. So we have lasers that are great for texture and color and give you a little bit of tightening. And then you have specific tightening devices, which are more focused on just tightening. And they're usually heat based, like, radio frequency microneedling or therapy, or they are cutting based, like the microporing Elacore. And so you just combine all these different things to improve all the things that are happening as you age. Um, Eventually it gets to a point where, for some people, surgery is the way to really get the most benefit. If you want to delay surgery, the key is to really get on a good skincare regimen and some good treatments earlier, before your skin completely falls apart. So it's really, you want to get on things on your 40s and even late 30s, and then consistently stimulate collagen and undo what's happening over time. You almost want to bank collagen when you're younger to make up for all the loss that is happening, and is going to happen even worse in the future. um Here, do you recommend oral hyaluronic acid? No, so I don't recommend oral hyaluronic acid. Just topical or injectable with the fillers. And then we talked about the neck. So I think, we've talked about a lot of things. So I think, I've answered, lots of questions. If you guys have more questions, feel free to, email us. You can just go on the website for the products, vidaderma.com, or on the website for the office, dermreston.com, and just email us questions, and I'll be happy to, answer questions. If you also don't know what's good for you, what you should do, just come over and I can take a look at you and make recommendations based on, your particular needs. Um, so at the end of this event, you're gonna receive a text message, and if you answer Glow, we'll contact you to just set up a consultation. The other thing is everybody that attended today is gonna get a code emailed to them for 15% off on all the products we talk about and all the products we have, so you can just access the full site and all, and that's that, password Vida Derma Patient, capital V, capital P. You can access the full site, and whatever you're interested in, you get 15% off. So the code's going to be valid for everything. And it, because I just want you guys to try the products and, and see what you think. Um, if you like it, you can keep getting it through the website or come to the office and grab some product. But the goal is to, offer you guys products that I tried myself and I think are good and have good technology behind them or solid quality. And to over time, keep improving what we offer to you guys. Science is ever evolving, and I'm always kind of like on top of things. My goal is to stay on top of what's out there. That we want to offer the best technology and the best science to our patients. All right, guys. Thank you so much for attending today, and I guess I'll see you guys in the office at some point. I appreciate the support, and have a great evening, and get some rest.